Hello, happy Friday. Welcome back to my channel. I am going to attempt to use some of the products that I hauled during the Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale. I have already sculpted my brows with the Juvia's Place I Sculpt Eyeshadow palette. And I did use this dark chocolate shade right here. I first brushed my eyebrow hairs in place with the NYX brow glue, and then I just used the palette to sculpt my brows. So I think I'm going to now use one of the concealers to sculpt my brows underneath or to clean them up, and then one of the eye prime primers. I have shades number 1 and 2. Shade 2 is like a neutral tone, and then of course shade 1 is more on the white or lighter side. But I'm going to start off with the darkest of the 3 concealers that I have, which it seems to be number 11. And I think these are minis. I've already prepped my face. I used the Jelly Pop, the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Moisturizer and Primer. I'm sorry, I put them up. I should have saved them out so I can show them. But this is the Dew Primer. And this is the moisturizer. So these are the products I used to prime my face. And I'm just using this concealer to sculpt. And I normally use this. The brand name is Dior Time, but I purchased this from Amazon. And it's just a rounded flat brush. It doesn't have a brush number. And my left brow is always arched higher than my right, no matter where I go, what I do. So then I'm going to take a mini sponge and just blend this in. And I was trying not to put too much so I wouldn't have to bring it down too far on my lid. So I think I misjudged the amount that I had on the doe foot of the concealer. And then I normally use my NYX concealer to clean up the top of my brow because it's closer to my skin tone. And then I'll use that same mini sponge to kind of mesh that into my skin. And I'm sorry if you can hear my heater in the back. I'm cold. So I have two palettes that are new. I have the Vanessa palette and I have the Rebels palette. And I think I'm going to open up the Vanessa palette. And there are six shades. And I think I want to go in with BSG, this brown color. And I normally use a BH Cosmetics brush that I'm looking for. That's odd. I don't see it. Well, I'm not going to waste a lot of time trying to find it. I'll use this Beauty Treats 224. Nope. Nope, that's not the right one. Sorry. Oh, what did I do with it? Okay. So I'm going to use the Beauty Treats 224 Crease brush. And it looks like this. And I'm just going to pat it on at first. And then kind of blend it over in my inner crease. And then just blend it. So I'm going to pat and then blend, basically, is what I'm doing. And I'm just applying enough eyeshadow to get the color payout that I want, or the tone, the darkest of tones that I want. And I'll do the same thing with the other eye. And to me, my right is darker than my left, so I want to apply some more. And then once I get the payoff that I want, I kind of take the eyeshadow up a little bit. I'm going to now use a 224 fluffy blending brush. This is a Beauty Treats brush as well. And then I'll just start to kind of blend in circles. Just trying to get rid of any harsh lines. And I'm mainly blending towards the top because I don't want to blend any of the bottom. I want that to stay as pigmented as it is. And as it goes to the top or goes up, I want it to kind of fade into the concealer that I placed on my eyes. And I'll do the same to the left eye. Just blending towards the top. And then once it's to your liking, you can discontinue the blending. Just going to clean this brush off, as well as the crease brush that I used. I am now going to take This brush does not have a name. It's a dual-ended brush that I purchased from the beauty supply store. But it kind of has a fluffy side, and then it has like a flat side. So I'm going to take a little bit of that Prep and Prime in the shade number 2. And I'm just going to put it on the top of my hand. And I forgot about this. You have to kind of shake this up before you open it, because if not, it comes out really watery. So I won't use too much of it. I kind of like just put it, flatten the brush in the product on both sides. And then I'm going to take a Cala. It's a shading brush, but it's kind of on the flat side. It's a 505 brush. I purchased this from Shop Miss A. So I'm really just flattening out the product that I put on. And this is definitely one of the things that I want to enhance is a cut crease, because I've tried so many different ways. This is the only way that works best for me. I still think I need some work on it, but this works best for me. So I'll let that dry. And I want to use I think the shade is called Extra. I'll show you in a minute. Yeah, it's Extra. But I want to use this shade Extra. Here it gives off like a rose gold color. I have something in my eye. Okay, so I'm going to take the sponge that I was using earlier and kind of just tap that product in. Sometimes I'll set my eyelids and sometimes I won't. So if I know that I'm going to try to apply more than one eyeshadow, I really don't I really don't set my eyelids. And for me, it just comes out too cakey. And so I'm just patting the product on my brush and then patting it on my eyes. So I'm not swirling the brush around, just picking up the product, just swiping it pretty much. And there is also a burgundy color in here. It's called Akua. This pink burgundy-ish shade, or maybe this is fuchsia. It may show up as fuchsia on camera, but I want to take that and put that in my outer crease. And just kind of blow it out more so towards my cut crease. And again, you just continue to build until you get the payoff that you want. And then you can start to blend. using the wrong brush. And then I kind of go back in with this brush if I see that my lines are crooked, or if I need to go up a little bit more. So I'm just waiting on that product to dry. And then I'll go back in with my color brush. Oh, getting stuff in my eye. And I'm going back in with that brown color because I wanted to try to make this side as even as possible with this side. And I'm going back in with that fuchsia color. And I'm just pretty much putting it on the corners right there. And I wipe it so it won't get in my eye. You don't have to wipe as often as I do because you're going to cover that up with concealer, but my eyes are really sensitive, and I do have an issue going on right now with my eyes, so I'm just trying to keep as less product from being in them as possible. So now I'm going to go in with the Juvia's Place foundation, and it's in the shade Mozambique. And this is one of their stick foundations. This is my first time trying this one. And this is the shade. And I tried to match it as close to my chest. So I'm just going to put a line so far to see how this works. And then my favorite foundation brush is the BH Cosmetics brush, and it just has the number 1 on it. It doesn't have any wording or anything like that. And I just want to see how this blends, what kind of coverage it gives, because I normally don't do a full coverage or full coverage of application of foundation on my face because I really don't feel like I need it. but we'll see how this works. And every time I put on foundation, it looks off to me until the end. I'm gonna go in with this darker shade first. Because I've had this concealer for some time, but I've never really used the concealer. And I'll kind of let that dry down a little bit. I did purchase the Coffee and Cocoa face palette from Beauty Bay. I'm sorry, Beauty Bakerie. I keep saying Beauty Bay. And so I do want to try this out today as well. So I normally use a cream contour first, and then I go in and bronze with a powder. And I feel like I used the wrong shade. We shall see. I normally use Mahagony, and I went in with another one, so we're about to see. Okay. I'm going to use the contour brush from Real Techniques. I'm looking for a number 206. But I use it to blend out my concealer. And I blend underneath my eyes last. I think I had my light too bright. And I normally go back in with my foundation brush to kind of darken the areas on my upper cheek. Excuse me. Again, going with that foundation brush to kind of put a little bit more color in my face. And then I take the cream contour and just take it upward. I put it into my hairline. I know that that's the wrong color. Okay. So I'm going to go back in with this mahogany one. Yeah, because that one's more of my color, or matches my skin tone a little bit better. And I'm going to blend this one out just because I know I am going back in to add product. And before I apply any setting powder under my eyes, I am going to take a sponge, a wet sponge, and go underneath my eyes. And I just take a water bottle and spray the sponge. And I just go underneath my eye. And I'm just patting. Okay. As I said, this is my first time using this Juvia's Place concealer. So I may have to put a little bit more. So I use number 11. I'm going to go in with number 10. And let that sit for a minute. What is this? Nope. While that's sitting, I'm going to take my Beauty Bakerie, the shade Anti-Depresso right here. And I'm going to contour and bronze with that. So I'm basically just tapping the shade and going in circular motions over the cream. One second. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, I think I like this one a little bit better. And I'm going to take, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty. This is the Pro Filt'r powder. It's in the shade Cashew. And I normally just put a little bit in the top. Like that. And I just tap my brush in there and pat. There is also a La Vida Mocha shade right here. I want to go back in with that shade as well. And kind of use that towards the top so it can be used as a blush too. I am going to contour my nose. So I just start from my eyebrow. And then I take this brush does not have a name, but it's a pointed brush. And then I just kind of mix in that cream into my skin with this brush. And I do go back over the other areas that has concealer on it, and whatever product is left on my brush powder, it'll be used for that. To set the remainder of my face, I use the Sephora Micro Smooth. This is in the shade Toffee. And it looks like that. And I just tap it across. And I go like underneath my contour. And on the sides of my forehead. Kind of around the areas that I put the concealer. Then I'm going to go in with highlight. My favorite or my go-to is normally the On a Roll highlighter or the Milani, but this palette has a highlighter in it. It's called You're Grounded, so I'm going to use that highlight. This highlight brush is from the, well, this fan brush is from the brand Vander. I have a smaller one too that's a Morphe brush, but I don't know where it is right now. So I just go down the bridge of my nose and my cheeks, my chin, my forehead, and I take a smaller brush. I'm going to use the one that I contour my nose with, and I'm going to take that highlight and put it right underneath my brow bone. This one is really pigmented. Okay. Then I'm going to spray my face. I have a new setting spray. I'm going to use the DEWY set. I have the mini one by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Sorry, I thought someone was at my door. And so it has a little switch on it where you can turn it to turn it on to spray and then turn it back off. And I will be right back with the final look. Hello, I am back with the completed look. What I did off camera was just add my lashes and did a liner. So I am going to review the products that we did today, or that we used today. So the first products were the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Water Gel Moisturizer and the Dew Primer. We also used some of our Juvia's Place products. So I used the Juvia's Place Eye Prep Eye Primer in shade number 2. I used the Juvia's Place Shade Stick. It's in the shade Mozambique. I also used the NYX Brow Glue. For concealers, I used the mini concealers from Juvia's Place, but I used the shades number 10 and number 11. I sculpted my brows with the Eye Sculpt Eye Shade palette, and I used this dark chocolate color right here. On my lids is the Vanessa Palette from Juvia's Place. And I did use these 3 shades, the brown, this shimmer, and then this fuchsia looking color. Hope you all can see that. For my face, I used the Beauty Bakerie, because I keep saying Beauty Bakerie Better Not Bitter Coffee and Cocoa Palette. So to contour, I use the or to bronze, I use the Anti-Depresso, and then I did use the La Vida Mocha as my blush, and I use the You're Grounded as my highlighter. So I placed the highlighter under my brow bone, my cheeks, down the bridge of my nose, my chin, and my forehead. To set underneath my eyes, I use the Fenty Beauty in the shade Cashew. I used the Sephora Micro Smooth in the shade Toffee for the remainder of my face. I did set with the Anastasia Beverly Hills DEWY set. And I used the Sephora Make No Mistake to actually do my contour of my cheeks and down the bridge of my nose. This is in the shade Mahagony. And it's just the foundation stick. What else did I use? Oh, on my lips, I have the Milani 420 Tease is the shade. And this is how it looks. And then I topped that with, what did I use? Oh, I topped it with this Milani Rare Pink Gloss. So while we're here, I do want to go ahead and, no, I'll actually make another video for that. So that is all I have for you all today. I just wanted to share a look using some of the products that I purchased during the Black Friday Cyber Monday haul. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you do, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I hope that you enjoy the remainder of your day and have an awesome weekend.